What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. For me, it is a very exciting episode because I was out in the garden today harvesting some tomatoes, and when I realized how many we had, I thought, I've got to do another harvest video because these were just the first three that I picked off of our pork chop tomato, and I thought, these things are absolutely massive. Why am I not bringing you guys along for this? So I went inside, grabbed the camera, and it is time to do a harvest video. So hopefully you guys don't mind me doing another one. I know you guys do enjoy them, but we will have lots more gardening content in terms of how-tos and tutorials and other things like that coming very soon. It's just when you're in the moment and you've got some amazing harvest to show the world, you should show the world. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful season wherever you are at. Hopefully you guys are getting bountiful harvests, and hopefully if you're not, hopefully our other videos will get you getting a bountiful harvest next year. One of the things I see all the time is people saying, hey, this year wasn't so great, but it was a learning experience for next year. And that's all that matters for me. As long as you feel inspired or motivated or you learn something new, that's the goal of this channel. So let's get harvesting and let's see what we got. All right, so the first one I've got to harvest here is the beefsteak tomato. Now this one is just absolutely loaded. This one here is one of our favorites. I love beefsteak because not only is it a name or a type of tomato, but it is also a name of a tomato. Beefsteak tomato is just like one of our favorites. These are a little on the small side. We have had a real dry season, so because we don't do a whole lot of irrigating, our garden does not get a whole lot of water. We rely on our cores in our beds to actually hold on to the moisture. That helps our plants kind of get through the dry seasons, but when it's very dry like it's been, the tomatoes can be a little bit smaller, but regardless, they are really, really looking good. So I've got some in there already, and I've got another one here. I like to harvest when it's late season like this. As soon as they start to turn, this one is about 3 days from being ideal, but as soon as they start to turn, I like to pick them. But like, look at this. Oh my gosh, look at these plants. Look at how loaded these plants are. Check this out. Look at this beefsteak. Oh my gosh, you guys. Wow. Look how pretty that is. Does it get much prettier? About 3/4 of a pound-ish. Absolutely glorious tomatoes. These are just stunning tomatoes. Oh my gosh. I mean, can you get any prettier? Look at all these tomatoes. Look at how loaded these plants are. Just loaded with tomatoes. All organically grown, baby. You cannot make this up. And look at that. Look at that haul. Look at that. Just from one plant. These ones are a little bit bigger. Looking great. Absolutely so pleased with this variety this year. Look at that one. Wow. Perfect. Here's another one of the pork chops. Look at how big this tomato is. Oh my gosh, you guys. Wow. It's huge. Oh my goodness. Look at that tomato. Holy smokes. I think that's the biggest tomato I've grown this year. Wow, that's big. So right there is where I just harvested that absolutely massive pork chop tomato. And I looked down, and what I noticed was there was like this black thing on the edge of the raised bed. And it looked a little bit like bird poop. But when I took a closer look, turns out it's not bird poop, but in fact, this is a dried tomato hornworm with parasitic wasp eggs. Now these are beneficial parasitic wasps. We actually released these in our garden earlier this year. And the parasitic wasps will actually sting the tomato hornworm and lay eggs on the tomato hornworm. The larvae will actually hatch and use the tomato hornworm as a host. And then it will actually hatch after it feeds off of the tomato hornworm. It'll hatch and become an adult. It'll pupate and become an adult. But that is what that is. I was fascinated. I was like, what on earth is that? Because I honestly thought from a distance, it looks a little bit like bird dookie, doesn't it? But coming in close, And that is actually incredible. That is what we love to see in an organic garden. That's what we love to see from our garden, because that is the type of symbiotic relationship that we rely on. We rely on the beneficial insects to come in here and actually help to regulate our pest problems. You know, these pests, like these tomato hornworms, obviously have been having a snack, but not without paying the price. Oh my gosh, coming over here, just looking across the bed, I noticed another absolutely incredible tomato. This is a Kellogg's Breakfast, and this thing is just giant. You'll notice there's quite a few more in here. Look at all these. Wow. I love Kellogg's Breakfast. It's a nice creamy yellow beefsteak. So sweet, so low acid. Wow. There's another one. And look at how many are in here. Look at this. Look at all these in here. Look at, oh my gosh, can you see those? Look at all those tomatoes. Got some more pineapple tomatoes. Beautiful. Check this out. Look at this. This is a pink Brandywine. Oop, almost dropped it there. Beautiful pink Brandywine. Huge tomato. Started getting eaten a little bit by those tomato hornworms, but again, not without paying the price. Over here, I've got my Buttercup Squash. The vines have since died back, and I'm just gonna come in here and pick this Buttercup Squash. This is the last one. We already harvested 2 of them, and I don't see any more. So very happy. Oh yeah, the vines go all the way off that way, but I don't see many more, but really happy with this one. This looks beautiful. Beautiful. Love that. Nice winter squash. Oh my gosh. I've got so many more of these fall Roma tomatoes that we planted. Absolutely beautiful. Look at these. Look at these tomatoes. Just loaded down. Look at this plant over here. Oh my gosh, you guys. I wish so badly I could explain to you how easy it is to plant fall tomatoes. How easy it is. These plants took absolutely no maintenance at all. We didn't even trellis these up because they were a determinate tomato. We just let them grow right along the ground, produce whatever they were going to produce, and inevitably they're going to die. But these are just absolutely loaded. Look at this. This is one plant. Oopsie. This is one plant growing over here, trellising over this way. And we've gotten just, off of one plant. Look at this. Off of just one plant. Check out all those tomatoes. I can't even hold them all because they keep falling. But look at this. This is from one plant. Absolutely amazing. What a haul. And again, these were planted in early August. So from early August until now, they've had time to grow, mature, and produce. And these are basically gonna continue ripening into fall. Alrighty. Oh, I've been looking forward to this moment. This is absolutely stunning. So I've got quite a few of these butternut squash here. These are the Waltham butternut squash. And I've got quite a few here on this plant. So, ouch. The one thing with the butternut squash is they are very, they're very prickly. They really are a prickly squash. But I've got a couple here. There's 2. I've got a third back here. Oh my gosh. A lot of people ask, how do I know when my butternut squash are ripe, or any winter squash for that matter? And the answer is, you know that a winter squash is ripe when the tendril starts to turn brown. So the nearest tendril will start to turn brown, and the skin, if you poke it, you should be able to just essentially nick the inside. Just be able to nick the squash, because when you, if you poke all the way through it, what happens is the skin's not hard enough yet. It's not going to cure. It's going to be really soft. So you want to make sure that the skin is nice and hard so that it's going to last for several months for you. Also, the squash will change colors. You'll go from kind of like a light green to more of like a a creamy yellow. So you'll see here, again, give it a good fingernail test. If your fingernail just dents it and doesn't poke all the way in, it's good. So I actually was able to find a 7th little baby squash right up along the fence line here. And I didn't even see it because it was just kind of crammed right underneath the fence. And this actually brings up another really common question that we get. And that's, Luke, what happens if I have a squash or a pumpkin or a melon that vines underneath the fence or over a fence into a neighbor's yard? Am I entitled to that? Should I ask them for it? And the answer is, it's really theirs. A lot of times people will take issue to the fact that a neighbor, maybe mowed over their pumpkin plant if it was growing underneath the fence. Well, that's their yard. They're entitled to that. Now, if you know your neighbor and you can come to some type of agreement, I know lots of neighbors will be like very cool with the fact that there's something growing and they'll find it fun just to watch it grow. I know that Cindy, when she had her house in Chicago, when we were still dating, we were growing some giant pumpkins and one grew over into the neighbor's yard. And their neighbor said, well, you know what? It's been fun watching it grow. There's actually a couple over here. If you don't mind, we'll take one, you can have the rest. And that's the type of thing where it's just being neighborly. They might want one. They might want one because they had the opportunity to mow it over or to weed whack it, and they didn't. And so because they kept it alive, because they spared it, sometimes they feel slightly entitled to that just as much as you do. And so rather than be contentious over it, try to be understanding and realize that you had all of this space to grow your winter squash, or me for this example. I got 7 winter squash from this space. If one grew underneath the fence and it produced in my neighbor's yard and they wanted it, hey, so be it. That's totally fine. At least I'm sharing the love of gardening. At least I'm letting them experience what fresh, organic vegetables taste like, and maybe it'll inspire them to grow a garden as well. So it's just surprising how often that question comes up. It's real surprising. It comes up almost on a daily basis, especially this time of year when vining crops are starting to be harvested. Oh my gosh, there are so many peppers here. This is the Pasilla Bajillo, and again, you know how much I love this pepper. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you'll know that this is one of my favorite peppers. This is a Mexican drying chili, and they start out kind of light green, almost like a forest green, and then they turn into this very, very dark, deep dark green, almost black, and that's when they are ripe. And so we'll pick some of these, and we will actually just hang dry them and let them dry, and then we use them for seasonings. And so these are just some of our favorite peppers to grow. So prolific, as you can see. It's just, this whole plant is just falling over with peppers. The banana peppers are completely loaded down. These plants are, I don't know if you can see this, but these plants are just, wow, oh my gosh, wow. Look at this cubanelle, holy smokes. This cubanelle is huge. Look at that, wow, it's huge. But these banana peppers are just loaded. Look at this. Look at all these banana peppers. These plants are so loaded to the ground. Oops. There we go. Gorgeous. Wow. Cubanelle. Another cubanelle. Oh my word. Whoa. I didn't even see these in here. Holy smokes. Check that one out. It's giant. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I think there's another one in here. Holy cow. What on earth? It's so funny, you'll kind of like let a garden be for a little bit, and you'll come back and wow. You won't even notice the harvest until you actually get in here and start moving the plants around, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I have got a ton in here. I didn't even realize there was that many in there. What a haul that is. Look at that. Some even more cubanelles. Wow. Oh my gosh, look at this cubanelle. Look at that cubanelle. What? That's the biggest cubanelle I've ever grown. Oh my gosh, look at these peppers. Look at these peppers. Look at this. All right, I've got some more cubanelles over here. I'm expecting great things now, but I think I did harvest most of the cubanelles already, to be honest. But that was incredible. that was absolutely incredible. I just got to come in here and pick the rest of these so that the plants are relieved and they can actually start flowering again. Because believe it or not, we'll actually have enough time to, my goodness, this is incredible. We'll have enough time to actually get another flush of flowers if we harvest all these peppers. So we'll kind of relieve the plants of their burden and then they'll start flowering again. But wow, you guys, I mean, look, that is absolutely outstanding. Coming over here, we've got some more banana peppers. Banana peppers will actually turn if you let them go. There's even some more cubanelles there. Goodness gracious, that is absolutely amazing. Oh, check this out. Look at this beautiful banana pepper. Now that is a perfectly ripe banana pepper right there. Isn't that stunning? Wow. If you've never let your banana peppers turn red like this, you should definitely try it. They get so much sweeter. Over here, there's a fish pepper. These are all ripening up nicely. Look at this beautiful, absolutely stunning fish pepper. They're kind of like a variegated pepper. These are loaded down. Oh my gosh, these are loaded. Look how pretty those are. There's another one right here. Isn't that just amazing? Real sweet, delicious pepper. Got even more here. More fall aromas. I'll tell you, I love fall tomatoes so much. Not only are they extra food that we wouldn't normally be getting if we only grew one harvest of tomatoes, but they're also way more fun to pick because it's not nearly as hot out. Check that out. Isn't that beautiful? So there we go. That is a huge harvest. If I don't say so myself, that's a really successful harvest. And this does not even include the heavier things like the winter squash. I didn't want to put them in here because I didn't want to smash and smush all these softer vegetables. So I did leave those out. So not including those, this thing is half full with just tomatoes and peppers. Absolutely incredible. Now we do have our fall garden coming in very soon. We're going to be getting things like lettuce and spinach and kale and Swiss chard, beets, and a whole bunch of other things, radishes and turnips. So the garden is by no means over, but this is probably one of the last big harvests of the year. A lot of the plants are starting to kind of fade away and fizzle out, and that's okay. That's normal, that's natural, so I do expect it. But I would say this was a really good note to end the summer season on because this is a huge haul. So the question always comes up, Luke, what do you plan on doing with all of it? Do you eat it? Do you preserve it? And the answer is yes, I do plan on eating it and preserving it, but we don't let anything go to waste here. Anything that we can't eat or have enough to preserve, we'll give away to friends, family, and our local soup kitchen. I will freeze a lot of these peppers up for the off season. I'll can up some of the tomatoes, making things like spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce, and whatnot with some of the tomatoes. We will eat some fresh as well. So anything that I can't eat fresh or preserve, it goes to them. And the reason why is because I would so much rather put some food on somebody else's plate, put a smile on their face, than to hoard it all for myself. I know for a fact that I've grown, eaten, and preserved so much more than I'll ever eat in the course of a year that I might as well help somebody else out. So that's what we do with the rest of it is we just give it away. So I'm not worried about selling it. I don't ever take it to the market and sell it for a profit. I definitely could, and I've done it in the past. It's just once you see the smiles on people's faces because they're trying some of this amazing organically grown produce, it makes you want to share more. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. As always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow big or go home, and we'll catch you all later. See ya. Bye.